Good morning, everyone. Oh my God, look at me. I'm a mess. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at news and headlines and comments and ideas and everything and anything that has to do with Puerto Vallarta, our state, Jalisco, our country, Mexico. And it is Monday, August 16, and I am quite tickled because I was setting up the live stream this morning, and I think I'm going to be sharing something on your screen. I don't know if you're going to see it, but back on February 25th, I decided to set up a goal to get 4,500 followers, and all of a sudden there is 4,581 folks following the channel, which I think is really exciting. Thank you very much for everyone that keeps an eye on everything that we do here. Yes. So later on today, I am going to set up another goal to see how quickly we can get to 5,000 followers. That said, here at Coffee and Headlines, we've never been really worried about those numbers because ultimately what we want to do is make sure that our niche group gets whatever they need, whatever you need. But this is all good. It's a good thing. Now, this is a new week, so we might as well talk about the ground guidelines as always. My name is Paco. If this is the first time that you're joining us, just write the word new in the comments, and that way we will give you a nice welcome. And I believe there's already a welcome person because I see some welcomes going on. I promise I'll give you a good welcome whenever I get to the comments, new person. I promise I'll join the welcomes, but that's what we do. Whenever we see somebody new, we give you a nice welcome. Also, if you have something truly important that you wish to share, just add the letter Q at the beginning of your comment, and that way we'll make sure that we get to it during the broadcast. If not, we'll take a look at it shortly thereafter. Today, we have more information about vaccines, more information about COVID cases, a little snafu that took place in the installations in Mexico City. We also have some good news for our environment, with some agreements made by hotels that are going to plant trees. And I have a little bit of show and tell about my day yesterday, where I went into two restaurants and I had unexpectedly amazing experiences at both restaurants. One of them is called Whiskey Kitchen, and the other one, of course, we've been to Mama Katrina's Tacos and Beer. Mama Caguama, not Mama Katrina, Mama Caguama Tacos and Beer. So I'll tell you a little bit about how my Sunday went. And then, of course, we are going to take a look at your comments and suggestions. And we'll do that in the second half of the broadcast. So let's get started with the news. Welcome, Maggie. I hope it's Maggie. If I'm messing up your name, please tell me what it rhymes with. But welcome. Ask questions. Let us know what's on your mind. And, 2 to 3 years before you start spending time here, it'll go very, very, very quickly. I see that you want to mention something, Dale. Just make sure um, that you give people good information as to where they can contact you so they can help out. Anyhow, I'll save the rest of the announcements and your comments for the second half of the broadcast. Let's get going with the headlines. Well, as we reported this past Saturday, the campaign for the second COVID 19 vaccine for folks in their 40s begins tomorrow at the usual places. This past Saturday, we brought this up, and a couple of people commented that the campaign would also have second shots available for folks in other age ranges, like for folks in their 50s. We couldn't find any evidence of that. And the official announcement on the screen very clearly says this is only for folks between 40 and 49 that received their first dose in June. So we are sticking to our story that this is only for folks between 40 and 49, unless we hear or learn otherwise between today and tomorrow from a reliable source. And once again, to avoid confusion and misinformation, we ask that if you choose to question our reporting during the broadcast, at least have the courtesy of featuring the source of the information. We are happy to stand corrected whenever possible, but we are going to remain true to our commitment to only share information that comes from as reliable a source as they get. Moving right along, the neighboring states of Colima and Nayarit continue to beat their own records when it comes to daily new COVID 19 cases. In both states, the highest number of cases, rather, can be found in their capital cities, Colima and Tepic, and also in their beach municipalities closest to Jalisco. That would be, of course, Manzanillo to the south and Bahia de Banderas to the north. In recent days, we've pondered whether people are not, or not enough people are getting vaccinated in Jalisco. We've been wondering whether it is because there's not enough vaccines or for other reason. But everything seems to indicate that whenever vaccines have come to our state, we've had plenty of vaccines, and people are just choosing not to, or not finding out the information, or something is keeping them from getting vaccinated. This article breaks down the issue by age range. For starters, 44% of folks over 60 did not get vaccinated when they had the opportunity. 43% of folks in their 50s did not get the vaccine either. And 6 out of every 10 people in their 40s have received their first vaccine, which means that they will most likely get the second shot in the next few days as campaigns start opening up throughout the state. Again, in Puerto Vallarta, it starts tomorrow, and I've seen announcements in other municipalities as well. Locally, though, I keep hearing cases in which COVID-19 turned truly bad, if not deadly, for those that, for one reason or another, chose not to or didn't get a chance to get vaccinated. I also hear from folks whose employers have been reluctant to authorize absences from work to get vaccinated. This is against the law, by the way. So if a campaign comes to your city or your municipality and it's for your age range, just get vaccinated. It is truly important. Vaccines save lives. This is odd, or rather somewhat contradictory. We found contradicting items regarding the cruise ship passengers that are going to be arriving in Puerto Vallarta for the first time since the pandemic started this coming week. Some articles are saying that all passengers wishing to disembark will have to show a negative COVID-19 test. But now this article seems to indicate that tests will be randomly applied to 10% of the passengers. Now, unless you're working directly with cruise passengers, this is not going to concern us. And I'm sure that these facts will become clearer in the course of the week, because indeed the first ship to come to Puerto Vallarta will arrive in our port a week from Wednesday. This would be a Carnival cruise, and we will see how that goes. Let's see. This is interesting. Tell me what's wrong with this picture from Mexico City, from that gorgeous, luminous installation that has been placed in the Mexico City Zócalo, commemorating the fall of Tenochtitlan. Well, it is gorgeous indeed, but it has backfired as thousands and thousands of people have flocked to check it out, completely disregarding multiple announcements to maintain safe distance from one another, bringing a huge wave of criticism to Mexico City's mayor, Claudia Sheinbaum, and her administration, which is ironic because, this is happening literally in front of the Palacio Nacional, which is where our president governs. And where he lives, for that matter. He has a small apartment in the National Palace. He chose not to take the official residence. In fact, the official residence, Los Pinos, has been turned into a cultural center, which sounds really lovely. But the bottom line is, even if I was in Mexico City, as much as I would like to see this gorgeous installation, there's no way I would want to be standing among that many people, even if they're face masks. That's just a lot of density. And I see that Matthew, who lives in Mexico City, Matthew says, if you see that Zocalo photo from the other side, everyone is masked up. I get that, Matthew, but still, to be standing so close to people, even if they're masked up, I don't know. It gives me the heebie-jeebies, and maybe that's just me. That's my comfort level, and it is what it is. If somebody else is feeling more adventurous or less adventurous, by all means, be our guest. Now, we look at the weather. Paris Agreement, where we're going, we don't need the Paris Agreement, says our carrot weather today. It also tells us that the temperature is 28 degrees, feels like 33, humidity is 91%, and our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 82. Do people still read Fahrenheit? I don't think that many do. Just like, there are no people anymore that learn how to write cursive. Have you thought about that? Can you write script? Can you write cursive, handwrite with your own hand? Like, I learned how to do it in school, but I am constantly surprised by younger generations that just don't know how to write cursive. How fucked up is that? But back to the weather. I didn't mean to get distracted, and I totally got distracted. Here's the weather. Our weather forecast for today calls, yes, this is our current location. Weather forecast for today. Rain starting in the afternoon. High temperature 31, low temperature of 25. Tomorrow, Tuesday, rain in the afternoon again. 31 is our high temperature. Low temperature is 25. And on Wednesday, rain in the evening and overnight with a high temperature of 31 and low temperature of 24. Who reads Fahrenheit anymore? And, I write cursive, but my handwriting is lousy because I do everything on my keyboard. But that's just me. Can you write cursive out there? Tell me if you can still write cursive so that I don't feel so old. Moving right along with our news. This is good news because it's good for the environment and it could be really good for us. The Hyatt Ziva Hotel here in Puerto Vallarta has signed an agreement with authorities of El Jorullo, the Ejido El Jorullo, which is next to Puerto Vallarta, to begin a reforestation project to preserve the beauty of this awesome stretch of land located alongside the Cuale River and its surroundings. This will be made possible through the planting of 900 trees that will be protected and looked after by both parties. Now, I want to not only say that I think this is a really awesome bit of news, but I want to point your attention to this photograph, and particularly the swimming pool and the view that you can appreciate from behind these two gentlemen. This happens to be the swimming pool at the Canopy River, which is also available to mere mortals like you and I on a day pass. And what you can see behind these two gentlemen is actually the other side of the bay. You can see all the way out to the ocean on a clear day. And I must mention that this is a lovely place to go. Sometimes we think that canopy tours are only canopy tours, but here in this particular location, the canopy also has a gorgeous restaurant, and they have this wide, out in the open swimming pool that you can enjoy for not a lot of money. I don't know how much they're charging anymore, but this is definitely, if you're looking for a nice, gorgeous view and a pool that is not very expensive and is probably not going to be very crowded because it takes a certain amount of effort to get all the way out there. This is a place that I would definitely recommend. And their weekend brunch is absolutely delicious, by the way. Moving right along, this is good news. The first arrival of the sea turtles to our destination has been reported, in Nuevo Vallarta beaches. This is a beautiful annual rite of passage in which thousands of sea turtles make a pilgrimage to our beaches to complete their reproductive cycle by burying their eggs in the sand. Many local oceanfront hotels provide a sanctuary for these turtles and offer visitors and locals the opportunity to participate in turtle releasing programs, making sure that once they're born, the hatchlings find a safe way back to the ocean. Participating in one of these turtle release opportunities is something that you must definitely add to your bucket list of things to do to truly call yourselves a Puerto Vallarta local. I also want to let you know, totally unrelated, that Mexican composer Arturo Marquez is awaiting for the world premiere of his latest composition, Fandango, which will take place in Los Angeles this coming August 24, performed by the Los Angeles Philharmonic Orchestra with Gustavo Dudamel conducting. Arturo Marquez is now in his 70s. He's a very well regarded Mexican composer who has become quite famous through his Danzón number 2, which is performed by many orchestras around the world. And I will be so very excited to hear this new composition. I certainly hope that we will be given the opportunity to do that through a video or something. So this is very exciting. We mentioned it previously, and hopefully the concert will be again broadcast, or we'll have access to a YouTube video of one kind or another. So I want to tell you about my outing yesterday because I want to rave about two restaurants. First of all, for lunch, I found myself with Logan at a place called Whiskey Kitchen, which is located along the South Shore Highway. It is walking distance to Emiliano Zapata. In fact, we got there on our feet. And Whiskey Kitchen is the restaurant that I didn't know I needed, I swear to God, because they specialize in U.S. comfort food. Like, we sat down and the menu has things like mac and cheese. I had this gorgeous order of macaroni and cheese with a piece of fried chicken on the side, boneless. It must have been a chicken breast, and it was just decadent and delicious, And the menu also had all kinds of sangrias that you can order either by the pitcher or by the carafe. I ordered a carafe of a pineapple white wine sangria. I had said to Logan, let's get a pitcher. And Logan looked at me and he's like, no, we made that mistake before, a friend and I. So I figured, well, a pitcher would have been too much for me. So I ordered a carafe, which was lovely because it was large enough and good enough for two tall glasses of sangria. Paco, wake up, sangria. So it was delicious. I don't know that there are many places in town that offer comfort food from the United States like that. Then again, it's not the kind of food that I'm usually craving on a regular basis, but I found myself eating this mac and cheese, realizing, oh my God, I miss this food. It was just absolutely delicious. So I was thrilled to go there for the first time. That restaurant used to be something else, and then it used to be something else and something else. But right now, as Whiskey Kitchen, if anybody is going through United States withdrawal, or you want to try some delicious comfort food, this is the place to do it. And I understand that they have live music at night. So there you have it. And I see a question saying, "Y qué tal los precios?" I don't know if this refers to the restaurant. The restaurant was absolutely affordable. I ended up sitting down and having mac and cheese and my carafe of sangria, and I don't think I spent 400 pesos. So it was absolutely delicious. And then of course I parted ways with Logan, and I figured I'm just gonna start walking home. We were all the way in the south of the city, and I figured I'm going to walk back home until I get tired, and I will get on a cab or whatever. And if you go back and look at the Coffee and Headlines page, you'll see that I posted a bunch of 360 photographs as I was going through the city. The first one I posted was by the Kuala River. The second one was by that umbrella walkway located next to Telas Parisina. And then I kept walking north and I took a photograph next to the Nuestra Señora del Refugio Church in Colonia Cinco de Diciembre. And half a block away from it is Mama Caguama's Tacos and Beer. And I figured, I'm taking 360 photographs. I'm going to do a good deed. I'm going to walk into Mama Caguama's and take a photograph just because it's a nice thing to do. But of course, and I had just eaten, so I was not hungry at all. But the bartender waiter at Mama Caguama's is so incredibly charismatic, and he knows me because I've been there before. So, long story short, before you know it, I found myself sitting down and enjoying a delicious draft beer with homemade salsas and chips, and it was absolutely wonderful. And then I learned, and here we have to smack our friend Sean, the owner, for not letting us know. I learned that now they have they have paella on Sundays, and paella is offered on Sundays starting at 5 p.m. So it was 4:20 in the afternoon, and I really wanted to try the paella. I figured, fuck this, I'm gonna have another beer. So I had another beer. It was really hot, so the beer felt wonderful. And of course I got the paella to go because I had already eaten. But this is what it looks like. You get a nice portion of paella and a sangria. So it was sangria day and beer for me, and it was beautiful. It was lovely. So kudos to Mama Caguama's Tacos and Beer for keeping it lively and keeping it interesting with new dishes. And I'll make sure to go back and enjoy this one more time. And now, this is the second time that I see a comment to this effect. Um, Luisa says, "We saw those 360 photos. It looked beautiful and empty. And you are the second person that uses the empty word, and as if it was a bad thing. And I don't. Maybe you're not meaning for it to be a bad thing, but on a Sunday afternoon when it's totally hot outside, and I'm talking middle of the afternoon, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, pandemic or not, you just don't see a lot of people walking around in the street, especially when it's so hot. So I'm fascinated by that remark because I just don't know what some of you expect. I mean, it's the pace is mellow. There's some parts of town that have a lot of people, but then there are some parts of town where people are just not moving about in the middle of a hot afternoon. So it is what it is. Let me take a quick look at your comments, and I see that we have an almost new welcome for Marie with an awesome last name. Oh my God, I'm not even gonna try it, but it's beautiful. Hello, Marie. Welcome to Coffee and Headlines. It's great to see you, and it's great to read all your good mornings as always. Oh, David is back in Boston. I really hope your stay was great, David. I thank you so much for the opportunity to meet you, for the opportunity to reminisce about things Boston, things New England, things Cape Cod. And thank you so much for the Butterfingers. I will be very vigilant of my stash, and I promise I won't eat them very quickly. I'll make them last. Well, I think Mondays are always better with Raymond. Raymond, it's great to see you. It's wonderful to see you. And you are punny. You are punny. It's great that you're here with your puns. Let's see what else we have. Boom, chaka, boom, chaka, boom, chaka, boom, chaka, boom. There's a new series on HBO that has to do with a hotel that is absolutely ridiculous, says Logan. I haven't started watching it, but it's on my list. Let's see what else we have. You had quite a restaurant and beer tour yesterday. Hope you enjoyed your pizza. It was wonderful. And what are you doing in San Cristobal de las Casas, Gary? I hope you enjoy your trip. I had a great time. By the time I got home, I was feeling a little tipsy and concerned that I had combined sangria and beer, but I drank a lot of water. I woke up feeling quite nicely, feeling good, feeling good. Michael is saying hello from Costco, multitasking. Happy shopping, enjoy it. Um, we already said hi to Meggie. And again, stick around, stick around. This is the time for you to start doing your research. I have other friends that have moved here and did not start doing their research until later, and this is the time to do it. This is the time to do it, to learn about neighborhoods and so forth and so on. Let's see what else. Dale, I want to thank you for announcing the Women's Prison Project. Yes, yes, it's my pleasure. Continue to collect stuff and continue to make yourself available so that people can continue to contribute to your wonderful cause. Let's see. Oh, Maggie as in Peggy. Oh, thank Maggie as in Peggy. Maggie as in Peggy. This is wonderful. Thank you very much. Marie says, any info for when first doses of vaccine will be available for those over 60 with underlying conditions? Well, no info. No info right now. For the last month, the government, our state government, has paused apparently campaigns that are not for specific age groups. We don't know exactly when this is going to change, but again, we know that this is very important to everyone, certainly people watching. So we'll keep looking, and we'll keep making these announcements. Um, let's see what else. Puerto Vallarta is surrounded by escalating COVID cases. Stay safe, cluster. Absolutely, Lynn. We know what we need to do. And Scott, my friend, yes, you did miss the second shot notice, and hopefully it'll be available again. Uh, uh, Unfortunately, there are two well known local real estate salespeople who keep trying to convince their Facebook audience that the vaccine is experimental and should be avoided. Harold, I don't know who these individuals are, but I'm going to tell you the easiest thing you can do is switch the channel. Period. There are always going to be people that think differently, and that's just the nature of the beast. If it doesn't apply to you, just change the channel. I have friends that have chosen not to get vaccinated, and whereas I have my opinion about that, part of being their friend is respecting their decisions and praying for the fact that if they get the bug, it doesn't affect them very severely. Let's see what else. Let's see what else. Shia dia dia. Do 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 do. Oh my God! Look at the size of that ship. Did we show? Yes, we showed a ship. Of course, we did. Um, let's see what else. Question from Anna. I keep seeing the notices for second vaccines, but how does one get the first vaccine? I have had two, but just curious. Well, again, as I just mentioned, Anna, when the vaccine campaign started, they were a lot more open, and I cannot tell you exactly why. The last two campaigns have been very specific for decades, for the 50s and the 40s, the second shots. Um, I don't know why this is the case. I wish I did, because you're not the only person that is curious about this. And then cursive, cursive, cursive. Yes, we are showing our age because we can write cursive. Well, Joey's still a baby, and my baby friend, my baby little brother. Hi, Joey. It's always good to see you. Uh, Anna asks, "What is cursive?" And I'm not sure if that's a joke or not. Uh, but um, but cursive rocks. I hope I can continue to write cursive, even if I'm the only person that can understand my handwriting. We use Fahrenheit in the USA. Yeah, we know you do. Yeah, whatever. Let's see. Let's see. I have excellent cursive handwriting due to a nun beating me with a ruler. Yikes. I have visuals of that, and I feel good about that. uh, I love that word, fudge, fudged about it. Fugged about, I don't know how to say that, but I love it. I wish I could learn how to use that word. Thank you, Rita, for your comment. Um, let's see. I am with you, Terry. Every time I have to sign a piece of paper or write handwritten directions, I'm like, why? Why do we have to do that? Laser printer, come to me. Um, oh, there are two other countries that haven't adopted metric measurements. Okay, lovely. Let's see what else. My electrician messaged me this morning that he has COVID for the second time. He's also fully vaccinated. The vaccine did its job in that he has a mild case. It's dangerous out there. Absolutely. The vaccine is not a 100% bulletproof vest, and we should know that by now. Um, let's see. Lynn said, "Oh, yeah, music news. Yes, I love having music news." Um, Comments about Whiskey Kitchen. I'm glad that there are other people that have enjoyed their food. Uh, Internationally, Danzón Number Two is now the most interpreted piece of Mexican classical music, even more than Huapango. That is true. Huapango used to be like the anthem, and it will continue to be my anthem because it's a beautiful piece of music. But the Danzón Number Two is also a beautiful piece of music. Absolutely. Da, 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 da. Question: Where does the name Whiskey Kitchen come from? Whiskey in the mac and cheese. Oh, is that where it comes from? I have no idea, but it was out of this world. I don't have no idea if there was whiskey in my mac and cheese, but it was delicious. The Greasy Gourmet in Cinco de Diciembre is a great new restaurant. Notice they are opening earlier for lunch now. I don't know about this place, but thank you for mentioning it, Dale. I am somewhat reluctant to try new restaurants these days for obvious reasons, but if my destiny ends up taking me to one, I'm going to go and I'm going to be careful. Um, Thank you for the kind remarks regarding the 360-degree photographs. Bill asks, how do you take those 360-degree photographs from above your head to below your head? That's crazy. Piece of cake. The camera that I use, which is currently charging over here, I'm going to show it to you. This is my Insta360 1X. And it has a lens on one side and it has a lens on the other. And it has a little tripod mount in the bottom. And this is what I use to record my walking tours, by the way. And this is what allows me to kind of look at one thing or the other when I'm doing video. And when I'm doing photographs, when I'm doing still photographs, the camera has circuitry such that the pole that I suspend to hold the camera disappears by the software that creates the photograph. So it does look like the camera is floating over me, but there's actually a pole that I'm holding to suspend the camera a little bit higher, and that's how that works. Ray says, I hate it when people use names like Whiskey Kitchen. It is like a hotel name. Give me a fucking address, Colonia, LOL. Well, Ray, I hate it when people are not curious enough to look for that information themselves on Facebook or Google. LOL. There you go. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. I've had paella in Valencia and it was boring. Okay. Thank you, Dave. That's what the Google machine is for. Let's see. So, shameless plug. I stopped by Licks on Basilio Vadillo on Saturday. The chocolate fudge brownie ice cream was very good. We can't go wrong at Licks at any of their locations. What Kathleen and Todd have done is just extraordinary. Um, and here's Kathleen. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. Let's see what else. Luisa says, Paco, my husband Bob, and I will be in PV next month, hoping to meet you maybe while you're walking and taking pics. I will buy coffee too. Well, the good news, Luisa, is that I'm always out and about with my camera and I'm easily recognizable. The second good news is that the buy me a coffee business is just a metaphor. You can actually buy me a coffee right now from wherever you are. And in doing so, PayPal will put a nice $3 in my account. So buy me a coffee you can do right now. Just use the link above. Thank you very much for that. Let's see what else. Congratulations, Terry, on unsolicited coverage by Lonely Planet. I will go take a look at the article and attach it to the show notes so more people can find out about what you're doing. And thank you for sharing the URL with us. Um, can you still buy that line paper that taught us cursive as children? Even if you couldn't, Alan, I am sure that if you Google cursive paper for practicing, you will find a PDF that you can download and use to practice. Uh, oh, okay. Forget about it. Okay, now I understand. Thank you very much for clarifying that. uh, I Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Let's see what else. Okay. Okay, we're done. We're done. And it's 8 past 11. This was a long show, and there's still 105 of you here. This is what we do. This is what Coffee and Headlines is about. Um, so there you have it. If it was something you enjoyed, if you learned something new, if you had your feathers ruffled, if you were inspired or otherwise amused, just visit that link and either become a coffee buyer or become an ongoing subscriber. Thank you very much for joining me today. We'll see what shapes up for tomorrow. We'll keep looking for clarification about this vaccine campaign that is starting tomorrow, and that's all we got. Have a great week. Talk to you soon.